You ready to see your video soar to the top of the search results? To multiply your views and grow your channel at lightning speed? Introducing the ultimate video marketing toolkit, trusted by industry giants like Tesla, Decathlon, P&G, Samsung, and Forbes. Now it's your turn to shine. Unlock the secrets of the YouTube stardom with 3 easy-to-use tools that will transform your content and captivate your audience with no prior experience. Step 1. Dive into keyword analytics for YouTube. Discover the hottest keywords, get inspired by trending content, and optimize your videos to reach an audience that's eager to watch. Step 2. With the all-in-one video marketing platform, create stunning videos from scratch. Record, edit, and host with ease. Turn your ideas into captivating videos and even repurpose text content with help of AI. And Step 3. Leap ahead of the competition with Rank Tracker for YouTube. Monitor your rankings, uncover SEO strategies that work, and manage your campaigns effortlessly. It's time to elevate your video content and claim your spot in the limelight. Join the ranks of the pros and transform your channel today. So click the link, sign up, and let the magic begin. Your audience is waiting. Let's make your videos unforgettable. Hold on, can you guys hear me? What's up, guys? Happy Friday. I was just saying that I just got back from the SEO Spring Training Conference earlier this week, which is why we didn't have an episode last week. Awesome conference, guys. A lot of great information. I'm going to have a bunch of them, a lot of the speakers on the show coming soon. Some were already on the show, but a lot of great information. I will be producing a video later on this weekend, so I could possibly release it next week. So there'll be some good stuff there. Let's see here. Okay, I'm not getting... Why am I not getting... Oh man, 1 week off and I'm rusty. I can't get, I'm getting my, let me try to restart this. I'm not sure. There we go. Natalie Fam. Hi, Tori. She's not in yet, but we're still waiting for her. Stefan, my man, happy Friday. If you ever need to go to a conference, check out SEO Spring Training. It was awesome. I believe it's in May next week. Next year, I mean. Skylar, my man. It was great hanging with you last week. You know, I understand you don't put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari, brother. Got it, got it. Oh, I see Tori in the back. Tori. Let me see. Make sure I can see you here. Can you hear me okay?
I can. How are you?
Love it. Love it. I see you. Look good. Sound good. All right. So we're just about 4.5 more minutes before we start. I'm just saying hi to everyone in the live chat.
Okay.
All
Will you close the door behind you?
Don't be shy, guys. I see a bunch of you out there. Say hi in the live chat and let me know where you're watching from. Natalie Fam says hello. Hello, Natalie. Nikhil says hello from Florida. All right, so Tori, I'm gonna, in the very beginning, I go over a few videos, which will take about 8 minutes. So about 8 minutes after the hours when I'll actually introduce you in.
Yep.
Right now, I'm just saying hi to everyone in the live chat, seeing where everyone's watching from. And you are calling from Canada, right?
I am. I live in Toronto these days.
Toronto, love it. Toronto, what's up, Toronto?
Say hello to all the Canadians. And the Americans. I'm American.
Ernesto says, hi, Tori. Hi, Dre. Hello, Ernesto. Oh, yeah. Again, guys, as I was saying, I will be posting the video of the SEO Spring Training Conference sometime next week. I'll be going over and editing it. I actually met Tory at the Brighton SEO Conference, and this is how we actually connected. It's a great place to network. Conferences are a great place to network. Great place to get some information at the bar. You get those. If you go to the bar, you can get some nice nuggets at the bar. Just past a few drinks. And so, Tori, are you going to be at, what's your next conference? Are you going to be going to another conference this year?
My next conference is Women in Tech SEO Berlin.
Oh, nice. Going out there. Will you be speaking or just like advising?
I won't be speaking. We'll be hanging out with some wonderful friends and exploring Berlin and connecting with the whole Women in Tech SEO community.
Love it. Love it.
It's going to be amazing.
Plus,
I'll be in Germany. It's going to be a blast.
I still have to visit Europe. I haven't visited Europe yet.
It's a lot of variety. I mean, you got to pick one. There's so much to choose from, right?
Yep. All right, we got 1 more minute to go, or 1.5 more minutes to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on mute while I get things set here, and then I'll introduce you in about 8 minutes after the hour.
Sounds good.
All right. Hey, what's up, SEO pros? Big news! I recently discovered SEO Nitro, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. In just days, I saw incredible results that blew my mind. With SEO Nitro, you can get links from thousands of different C-block IPs, the most powerful links at a fraction of the cost. Patent software lets you control your entire backlink profile in minutes. Add, remove, and change links at any time. Protect your site from Google's changes with SEO Nitro's revolutionary backlinking software. Imagine having the power to have laser-targeted themed backlinks, automated link spinning, set it and forget it. Thousands of stellar sites and manual and automated posting options. SEO Nitro is the ultimate SEO weapon. Head on to SEONitro.com now to revolutionize your SEO game. Don't miss out on page 1. It's just click away.
Yeah. Hey, time to get it started. No delay, let's work. Wanna see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre De Vera, steady dropping knowledge. Over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO, you will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO video show.
Hey. Welcome to another episode of the SEO Video Show, where SEO is alive and fun. My name is Paul Andre De Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released within the past week into about 1-minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guest, and my guest this week is the founder of Gray.company, Tori Gray. Before we get started, let's say what's up to everyone in chat. I see Jess, Nubia, Ernesto, Kobe, Nikhil, Natalie, Skylar, Stefan. Hello, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now let's get on with the show.
Hey Dre, what kind of fruit do SEOs like best? Low-hanging fruit.
Let's check out how Google search indexes pages.
So, once Google has the content of your page, or more specifically, the main content or centerpiece of a page, it will group it with one or more pages featuring similar content, if any. This is duplicate clustering. Then it compares a handful of signals it has already calculated for each page to select a canonical version. Signals are pieces of information that the search engine collects about pages and websites which are used for further processing. Some signals are very straightforward, such as site owner annotations in HTML like rel canonical, while others, like the importance of an individual page on the internet, are less straightforward. Each of the duplicate clusters will have a single version of the content selected as canonical. This version will represent the content in search results for all the other versions. The other versions in the cluster become alternate versions that may be served in different contexts, like if the user is searching for a very specific page from the cluster.
We have to understand that when Google index pages is very important because you can't rank if your page is not indexed. I highly recommend watching the whole entire video to understand how they are indexing pages. For me, a couple tools I use to help crawl and index are Colinkri and Omega by Stealth Codes. Check those out. Takeaways from the March update by Tori Gray. Let's check out what she has to say.
What's changing? I guess maybe I sound naive. I'm sure a lot of people think I'm naive, but I wasn't expecting Reddit and Quora to continue to grow at the same rate that they were. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's and they dipped a bit at the beginning, and then they kind of came back up. So it's like you're like, oh, yeah. finally it's coming down a bit, and it's like, well, actually no.
Yeah.
I'm especially surprised for Quora. Like, there's literally hate videos on TikTok of people saying how much they hate the UX of Quora, right? And how much they feed you more questions than give you the answer. So Reddit, the original Reddit without all the gaming that's going on with SEO right now, fair enough. It's kind of a cool forum,
Yeah, I used to love Reddit back in the day. Not so much anymore.
Right, yeah, because it's being given visibility, right? I will talk a little bit about that later, but I feel Google is just offloading spam fighting to Reddit, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I agree.
Be sure to check out the full video. Lily dropped some great nuggets in that video over at Authority Hacker. Reddit is a great place to get some ideas on new topics. I mean, to help you build your authority. Andy Chadwick, a past guest here from Keyword Insights, just released a free Reddit tool to scrape all the questions for you to cluster. I believe the link is in the description at redditinsights.ai. Okay, Matt Diggity shares how he dominates affiliate SEO. Let's check this one out.
If you're an affiliate marketer, when you write your product review articles, display or review tables and call to actions as soon as possible. But Matt, Google will penalize you if you're being too aggressive with monetization. Google best wireless routers and you'll find this PC Mag article in first place. Bro, there's barely 20 words before the call to actions drop. Just ask yourself, if you were reading an article on the best SEO YouTube channels, as if you didn't already know the answer, would you want to read 1,000 words of fluff or would you want to know the answer right away? Now. Exactly.
Add CTAs into your meta titles and meta descriptions to increase your CTR to your page as well. I mean, I hope also that the SEO video show first came to mind when he said best SEO YouTube channels. Okay, when you combine ads and SEO, the results get crazy, says the Wizard of Marketing. Let's check this one out.
Better to start first with SEO and then slowly start running paid ads on services. The accounts that I have the quickest and best long-term success with run ads and SEO on the same keywords at the same time as soon as possible. So if I have my ideal client opportunity, this is what I do. We turn the website on and immediately we start running Facebook ads, Google ads, and we also start executing SEO. So when you run the ads alongside the SEO, they kind of empower each other and you get a faster out of the gate success.
I've always created a strategy that includes PPC. I mean, optimizing your PPC pages for SEO also increases the quality score, giving us the best cost per click prices. I mean, this now brings me to my favorite part of the show. Please ask questions and I will address them in the order that you received. Before we introduce our guest, here's a word from our sponsor. Are you struggling to get high authority backlinks? My buddy Ferry has a perfect solution for you.
how much do you think this digital PR campaign is worth? Wait just 1 minute before you answer. Watch as we hijack the news with Taylor Swift and Barbie to get you the links. Now, we can take this dataset from ONS and paste it right into your emails to get you the links. Now, how much do you think this campaign is worth? Don't answer! Wait until you see Bloomberg, BBC, Forbes, top-tier national and regional news outlets, reactive PR, data PR, expert commentary, over 70 team members at your disposal. This product is so hot, I need a fan! And then, listen to what campaigns we do at no extra charge. Gain character wages, bananas and sleep, best dates for dogs, luckiest UK areas, and many more. All for just how much did you guess? 10,000? 20,000? Even more? No! It's just £5,500. That's right. It's 5.5 grand. It's an incredible value, but it's true. It's digital PR from Search Intelligence. Order today. PO Box searchintelligence.co.uk. Accept B2B clients.
Tory brings a refreshing combination of SEO knowledge and growth-minded perspective rooted in kindness, compassion, and proven results. Before starting the Gray company, she spent 13 years in SEO and growth strategy, serving product and marketing roles in in-house startups and reputable agencies. She offers extensive experience scaling and growing businesses as a quoted SEO expert on Slate, OnCrawl, SEO FOMO, Monday.com, and more. She's also a senior SEO advisor for several digital agencies and passionate mentor for WTSEO. Please welcome Tori Gray.
Tori, welcome to the show.
Hello, hello. It's great to be here.
Everyone, let's give a round of applause. Thank you so much. Like in the pre-show conversation that we met at Brighton SEO, and conferences are a great place to network. I mean, I would have not been able to meet you in person, and even kind of connect and actually get you on the show as well. So I'm glad I met you at the show. I'm glad that you're on here as well.
Yeah, I'm grateful too.
All right, so let's get right into it. This is the first question I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here. In 1 minute or less, how does Tori get ranking on page 1 of Google?
The best place to start from my perspective is doing something new. Do something fresh where you are providing, unique value. So I like to get my ideas for what we want to create content about for Grey Dot anyway. I get those from client questions. So where do I see repeat questions coming from clients? I get those from repeat questions or really interesting angles from Slack communities because we're a member of several. So where am I answering kind of the same question again and again, or where is this really new, interesting angle and I have something different to say than what I've seen out there? I get that from internal documentation that I write that then we can then put out there in the world. Or anytime there's something new and I'm like, oh crap, I don't know what that means. And I have to dig in and I have to define what that is and figure it out for myself and then put it out there. So just being different, being willing to try something new and bring a new perspective, a new answer, a new whatever to the world.
Love that. First knowledge bomb of today. Hold on, let's rewind this real quick. All right, take us way back before Grey Dot Company, 13 years prior to that. When did you first get into SEO?
I was really lucky. So I went to school for PR and marketing. And like a lot of people at the time, I just graduated college and this was in 2008. So, housing market crashes, all sorts of drama. And I got a job and it was in digital marketing. And I learned everything on the job.
Love that. Love it. So what made you actually interested in SEO in particular?
Because I got to do lots of different stuff. I did feed management things and pay-per-click, and I did all the things. But I really loved SEO because it was weirdly technical and intriguing and different and weird, and it was sort of strategic too, and it combined those things that I loved. It was really fast-paced, which was awesome then and is sometimes awesome now, but also kind of exhausting, but amazing. And then I also found when I could really bring technical expertise to the table, that meant I got listened to, even as a junior person, even as a woman. It meant that I had a voice in the room that people were willing to listen to. So I liked that because I like to talk too much and I want all the attention.
Love that. Love that. Okay, so I'm curious then, so how'd you actually learn it? I know you said you went through all these agencies. I mean, was there any actual websites you followed, any books you read, any people you actually kind of listened to?
Yeah, so this was 15 years ago. So I did a lot of what everyone else did, right? It's the Moz's of the world and the beginner's guide that we all know and love. It was Search Engine Land. It was Search Engine Roundtable. It was, going to PubCon. I also learned on the job. So in addition to working at this agency, they had an e-commerce operation. So they ran their own e-commerce front. And so I did the packaging, I did the shipping, I did the product selection, I did the customer service, we figured out inventory. So I just learned sort of everything by doing it at a, a relatively small scale, but I learned by doing in that way. And then eventually learned by working with a lot of engineers, I'd say was like really where I started to see growth. So I was seeing specific problems in custom software and how do we solve this? How do we solve this new problem? How do I think about problem solving and use that as a framework? So
love that. Okay, so bring us to the future, or like where we're at now, and how'd you start in the Gray company, and like how big is the company now from since you started? Please bring us to that journey.
So I was freelancing for a while, and I say sometimes that I fell backwards into entrepreneurship and this agency, like fighting, kicking, and screaming. I never wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I didn't see myself in that way. I wanted an in-house role, but there weren't a lot of remote, interesting senior roles available when I wanted to go do that. So I ended up freelancing, and it was a year or two into doing it where I turned around and said, oh, hey, I'm good at this. Who knew? I actually really like this. I'm making more. I work with clients I like. I have control over my schedule. I can work from Ireland or Japan or wherever in the world I want to be. And it was wonderful. So I loved it. Gray really took off, I'd say, at the beginning of COVID when Sam, my business partner, joined. I met her at Women in Tech SEO in the Slack room, and it's been wonderful. And we've grown from there. So we have a tight core team, and then we work with freelancers. So around like the 10 to 12 mark altogether. And we do lots of fun work for very cool clients.
Excellent!
Love that. So I'm curious. So after about a year and a half, because I'm kind of like maybe at the stage myself where like you said you were consulting for a while before you actually started the agency. Like how many people, like how many like you say clients did you probably felt like, okay, I need to start an agency now. I can't do all this consulting by myself. Like what was that number for you?
Well, I mean, I made, the move to freelance support first. So if I want to focus on technical and strategic SEO, which is my personal kind of bread and butter, clients also need stuff like content. And yeah, I can do keyword research, but other people can do that faster and better, especially when we're talking, content strategy and digging into the details there. So I wanted to get support so I could really make sure what I was delivering to clients was top notch. So I started working with people relatively soon, and that was the first branch. And then I found that I really liked that. And, back when I was working in-house, I missed that. Entrepreneurship is ultimately kind of lonely when we do it the way that people, when you think about it, it's the lone typically dude who's out there doing it all on his own and leading everything. And I wanted to get to work with people. I didn't want to own it all on my own. I just wanted to kind of, share the burden and the joy and the pain and all the things that go along with that with people. And I got the taste of that when I was working with freelancers, and then I wanted more. And then I found my right person to do that with. Thanks, Sam.
Love it. Okay, let's talk about the topic of today, which is something that we haven't really talked about here on the show, which is pretty interesting, as digital market intelligence, DMI as you call it. Can you, for those that are that don't know about digital market intelligence, what is digital market intelligence and why is it really important for businesses today?
Great question. So we love DMI and we love talking about this. I've been doing this sort of quietly since I was in-house. We just started doing it because it was ways to answer business questions, right? If my executive was asking me these questions, how can I use, and at the time it was search data to answer these questions. So we define digital market intelligence as literally it's regular market intelligence. It's analyzed in the regular way you would with any data. The key difference is really around the data sources. So we're using search data and we're using often social data. And it can also be a company's first party data, and we're combining these data sources. So in search, it's a lot of keyword volume data, right? And behavioral data for your GSC and what are clicks and coming through to your site. And so it's your keyword universe, kind of classical things that you'd think of, those clusters of those topics, the, entities and all that jazz. In terms of social, it can be the things that you search for, because you go to TikTok and you search for things. Even if it's not a search engine, it doesn't matter because people are searching for things.
Yeah.
So we can calculate that. We can also look at social engagement data. So are people liking, commenting, watching videos? What are they not watching? What are they bailing out of? Those kinds of things. And we can quantify a lot of that data, and we can say, what are people seeking? What are they taking action on? And what does that say about your industry and what people are looking for and how your business can meet those needs?
Love that. So you mentioned TikTok. Is there like a tool to like see what people are searching on TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok has an API. They have trends data. They share all sorts of really, really cool stuff. TikTok is largely also publicly available. Google crawls it. So you can get data about TikTok from Google. And just like on, when people look for whatever they're looking for /Reddit, and they'll add it to their query. Maybe they don't need to today, but they can search for that. So you can also see what people are looking for on TikTok on Google.
Love that. Okay, back to back to DMI. I mean, how do you feel it's like different from just traditional market research compared to what you're pulling for companies?
I mean, obviously the fundamental difference is the data sources, but what does that mean? I think that means that it's fast. So if we're not doing surveys, if we're not doing interviews, we don't have to come up with all these questions that we have to ask, create the right survey, run that data, and then do the analysis. We can know what those questions are. We can go get that data. It is many times accurate. So you might be obfuscating things or, holding things back in a survey because it makes you look good, because it's embarrassing, all these things. But people don't lie to Google, and their behavior on social doesn't lie. They engage or they don't. Do they care or they not? So it can be, in some cases, more accurate. It's also more scalable. So how many data points are we talking about? The millions of people that look in Google, or, and it can be hundreds, thousands, millions, depending on what the size of the thing you're looking at. But surveys and interviews are we're talking tens to hundreds. So the size difference. And so how dependable is your data? I think that is really important. The last thing I'd mention is it's affordable. So if you're talking traditional market research, you're probably talking projects. Like if you're talking to a data analysis firm, like projects typically start at $65K. And if you're talking to a forester, if you're talking to like a big company that's getting you market intelligence in that traditional way, you're talking 150, 250K plus.
Wow.
Which is not something most businesses can afford, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's fast, it's accurate, it's scalable, and it's affordable in a way that businesses can move forward on and actually take advantage of.
Love that. And this is why for all the SEOs out there, all your consultants, freelancers, and even in-house, I feel like this data is like a great value add to your skill set and to even to your business. I mean, like you just mentioned, like 6,500 to 150K for typical research papers, and doing this, which is something that we want to learn how to do today. So, which brings me to my next question. I mean, can you kind of explain the process of getting these data sets and and for in-depth analysis? Like, how are you gathering it? Where are you putting it into a certain tool or anything like that?
Yeah. So first, we're working with clients. I mean, as always with all things, we do things custom. So we want to work with them to understand what are their core questions, what is keeping them up at night. And then we're kind of having conversations about, does this data source make sense for the questions that you're answering? Okay. Any data source is going to have limitations. So if I want search data, typically you're looking at historical 12-month rolling average, right? That's what a keyword is. So if I want trend data, that's probably not the best place to go look. I'm probably going to look at TikTok or YouTube or more, maybe Google Trends sorts of tools. So you have to understand the data sets and the tools and align that with the questions that you want to answer. Once you really are solidified on that, we like to go through and pick what platforms that we want to pull data from. A lot of that is based on who are we talking to and where are those users? So some of that's demographic or interest based. So YouTube and TikTok are places that we're going to for data a lot. Reddit is as well. And that user base can look pretty different. So different ages, different, incomes, and there can be certainly like subreddits. And so there can be variance within that. And then we can also like, how big is the community of the thing that we're wanting to look at? And are they active on this platform? So we then identify, what platform we want to pull stuff from. Some of that's budget limiting, and some of that, like, what are all the options and what do we want to choose? What's going to be meaningful in terms of ROI? Then we go about really pulling the data from APIs and from calls, collecting it, clustering it in meaningful ways. So one example that's concrete is we did a YouTube project. So we pulled 16,000 videos, 180K keywords from those videos, then analyzed the watches, the likes, the comments for their sentiment in order to understand competition, effectiveness. Where was the opportunity for this client to make moves that their competitors weren't, already owning, or where there was space to move in on? So it's from the broad to the specific.
Love that. With that particular example, I mean, I would love for us to kind of walk us through this if we want to do the same. If we want to, let's say, go to YouTube, to get 16,000 videos, get the keywords. So how are you grabbing all of this, and like, how are you putting it together? Is it like an API again that you're pulling all this information, and like, are you pulling it into BigQuery, anything like that?
Yep.
So it's just...
we use a variety of tools. So yes, we're often using the first party API data to pull things. Sometimes we're crawling sites, more like the Reddits, or using the Reddit API. We also, if it's search data, we're using traditional keyword research tools. So it can be Ahrefs, SEMrush, Moz, all of them. Obviously Google itself directly, or the client's data from their ads campaign. We can pull any of those sources, and we'll pull them all together and try and make those insights. But that's how we're pulling the data, like crawling, like you'd expect, the tools like you're used to, and APIs.
Love that. Okay, so what are some other resources that you go to that people possibly don't mention, like that have APIs? I mean, like this, like you mentioned, we know YouTube has the API, Google has their APIs, Ahrefs has the APIs, but what are like kind of the data sets and data sources are you going towards, like you're leveraging?
I mean, the data sets are those. I mean, they largely are the search and the major social channels. Sometimes with clients, there can be stuff specific to their industry. So whether it's their first party data, so we'll use their Google Search Console, their Google Analytics, their if they have an internal stack and they're collecting their own app, engagement data, we can pull that. Or they can have access to public or private, available for purchase data that's specific to their industry. So we can pull that from them. And sometimes that's in, an Excel file. And sometimes it's an API. It just varies. So we get the data from wherever the data makes sense, but those are the primary sources.
Love that. And guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the live chat so we can address them in the order that they were received. I mean, we have a few people that's saying hi to you. We have Jess here saying hi from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Samantha's here, making me teary over here. And, Jess over here is saying, yay, Sam. Okay. So everyone, be sure to say hi in the live chat. And also, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the live chat, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. But continuing on to the DMI conversation here, especially maybe let's take the YouTube example. You pull all this stuff here. So what are some actionable strategies that you're able to pull from this? Like how can businesses use this DMI to gauge consumer interest and discover emerging trends, especially with let's say this YouTube data that you found?
So for the YouTube project that we did, we were really trying to define content programming decisions. So this was a streaming provider, and they wanted to know what can they create content about, and where do they, within a vertical, where are people interested? So we're looking specifically at competitors and saying, how saturated is this? So not just like keyword difficulty, or how many video results are there for this, but we were also using the comments, the likes, and things to analyze the sentiment about that. So where can we say like, hey, there's a lot of stuff, but people's needs aren't being met. And so that meant we could make moves within that vertical. So it was a lot about teasing out the difference between competition and where we could meaningfully make content that would get them out there with this, specific vertical, and reach this audience and really make sure it hits. Where can they have a big win in a crowded marketplace? You can identify that, find that, make that content, go. And you can use that to get things greenlit, right? Because for them, it was like, I need to get this idea that I have. I need to get buy-in from my executive team. I need data that shows that this is meaningful. People are seeking this. People are not getting what they want. And if we deliver it, then we're the ones that can own this space.
Love that. Speaking of like the data that you find, do you find that like, when you pull this data for your clients that it backs up a lot of buy-in for like, content planning and programming with leadership? Is that like what you're seeing a lot?
Yeah, I think an underrated aspect is the ability to like bring data that validates your gut instinct. So if you are, you believe this to be true, but you don't have the data and you just like need it to get the buy-in externally, whether that's for your executive team or it's because you're a startup and you need someone to give you money to actually run on this problem. Can you prove that this is a valid problem that people are experiencing, that if you solve, they will give you money for? So it can bring you data to help prove your gut. On the other side, there have been situations where, people have a gut and then we have to come and say like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's actually no. And it's over here. And this is interesting. Let's dig into this nuance of, it's a tweak on what you thought and really, or it brings new audiences, right? If you thought your target audience for your SaaS startup was over here, but we're finding people are using this for this use case, then we can tweak that story, take your same tool and really sell it and actually maybe meet needs where they are. So all the different ways. It's data. It does both.
Love that. Okay, so let's take it toward like the practical application and use cases of the data.
Yep.
I know we talked about this YouTube one. I'm curious, like, can you provide other examples of how like the DMI has been able to like been pivotal in like branding, like product planning, or even like market expansion for businesses? Like, I'm curious.
Yeah, absolutely. So some examples. So. An e-commerce company that we work with, we helped them determine like which of product categories are growing in interest over time, which product categories are shrinking in interest over time. Where are the nuances? So are there variations of that product, specific features that we should be leaning into that are interesting? So as they're looking to make purchasing long-term decisions around, either purchasing or, merchandising, how do they frame this same product? We can help them answer that. What else can I think of? So I use that to define, product roadmaps, for example. So I can know where users are for your industry in their life cycle. Are they problem aware? Do they know that they have a problem? Are they seeking solutions to that? Do they know what the solutions are? Can they name them? So that can help me determine what sort of marketing strategy should I go after? Do I need to like focus on advertising? Because if people don't know they have a problem, they're not going to be seeking solutions from it, right? So that can really determine what your marketing mix needs to be, what your channel mix needs to be, really high top level, because that's where people are, and you can answer those kind of questions. And then you can solve with the right channels, right? Do you need to be advertising? Do you need to be focusing on inbound channels? Any of those pieces. And really, identifying new use cases. It's a lot of blue ocean finding opportunity.
Love that. Speaking of advertising, I'm curious too. Like, you just kind of brought up a question that I wasn't going to ask, but with the data that you find, it can really help with targeting and audience research, right? When you're targeting certain ad campaigns. Like, so, people you can save a lot more money if you get more targeted with an ad campaign. So like, are people like, is there any use cases where they're actually using your data to like hyper target, like only show it to these people, show it to, people below 65, whatever those demographic is. Like, is this type of information that you pull for clients as well?
Yes. So categorically, I think we find out more about the audiences, and that's useful for defining personas. So if we have a target, it can serve to validate that target exists, is out there. It can serve to really understand their pain points. Like, what are the pain points, and also like what do they express the most frustration with, so we can help kind of score, like, I don't know, priorities around those different problems and those use cases. We can also then use that data on the sales side to say, like, okay, we know these problems, we can speak to those problems in our ads, in our landing page copy, also in the sales process. We can know what like the objections are, what solutions do they already have, and what are the shortcomings on those, so we can speak to those. So there's a lot around, specifically like consumer intelligence and understanding the people and why they care about and what they care about and all that jazz.
Love it. So I'm curious of how much something like this usually takes for you to kind of put together, and like the going prices. I mean, is it around the 6,500 that you were talking about earlier, or 120? I mean, would you love?
I mean, our projects, I'd say, start at about 15K. Doing meaningful work, but they can go upwards if you want to do an entire industry, right? They can be certainly over 100K, but I'd say that's about where we sit. And timeline wise, it's I'd say 4 to 6 to 8 weeks instead of 6 months. Is often what you find in market intelligence. So it's a meaningful difference.
Love that.
And not 100K. Yeah.
So right in the sweet spot, right there. And I mean, that's some great stuff. I mean, like, and again, this is information that clients can like build their business around, right? Like understanding the audience and being able to, like, whether it's paid search or paid advertising and organic search, this can definitely help them out. So I'm curious, are there, like, with other, I'm trying to figure out like other kind of places that you've possibly gathered data from. Is like Amazon data, like how, like, you use Amazon data or anything like that, and everything, like, and then also I'm curious, since the data that you're also pulling, I feel like that can be also a use case for digital PR firms, right? Digital PR firms can take this data and like kind of create some correlations, like digital PR. You used to mention the PR as well, to create stories around. I mean, has that been a case where you're able to find like proprietary or some type of data, because since you're including some of first party data?
Yeah, absolutely. It becomes your data, right? So whether you're a company, if you're putting together your data and you're following kind of that like SEO strategy or campaign around, hey, let's find first party data. Let's run a survey in our industry. Let's do this analysis. Like, yes, absolutely. You can do this for yourself, and you can, because it's data that you own and have insights in, that's also data that you can then share and deploy. So yes, we've worked with clients to help them use that to give the supporting data as a part of that PR campaign to help them deploy and make that, really hit.
Yep. Love that. Okay, so when it comes to like DMI, where do you see DMI going right now? Like, I mean, especially like with AI and like, machine learning advancements, like where do you see like kind of like going, and like are you using AI to find some of your information as well?
Yeah, the AI piece is a lot about data analysis, I'd say, because there are interesting and new tools that can help us do things like cluster the data in meaningful ways. So we do a combination of human analysis, and we'll use, a variety of like machine learning scripts and different AI tools to experiment with, like, what if we group it this way? How do we consume this? How do we clean our data? So just like in SEO, AI is a lot about helping with processes, and this is data. So it's helping us cluster, understand, do stuff like sentiment analysis and really group things, so we can understand if we're having 100,000 comments, we're analyzing what's positive, what's negative. And then if you want to go deeper than that, you're going to have to really use the words that people are using, and use the language models can help us break down into different buckets of interest to make that analysis much more meaningful. So we're definitely using all the AI fun tools. But in terms of DMI as a whole, it feels like an industry in its infancy, frankly. Like, people have this data at their fingertips, and yet they're not using it to make decisions sort of outside of SEO or like their brand campaigns. So I think it can be so much more meaningful. Right? We can use this to develop our product roadmaps. I can do research to determine where people are frustrated with your competitors. And that can mean okay, well, this is a problem we want to solve, and we can emphasize this. And so we can build the feature that solves this problem. That means that people, we can use it in our advertising. You know, it can be full cycle through your marketing, through your business strategy, how that can be meaningful and move your bottom line.
Love that. Okay, so for the audience and myself, because I feel like this, like you said, this is an industry in its infancy. I mean, I want to get into it. Like I'm pretty sure someone in the audience wants to get into it as well. I mean, what's great meeting people here on the show is like, you know, you learn about new things and like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Like there's a future. There's like a huge future for something like this, and it's very, very. I mean, and it's also, you know, you can make a good living from it because I mean, it's something that does take some time. It's some skill to putting together. So. With that said, I'm curious, like, you know, for businesses and myself to like kind of like get started in DMI, like, can you kind of start sharing some top 3 things I need to start doing in order to kind of like start collecting data when it comes to tools and things you're looking for?
Yeah, that is a great question. So the cheeky answer is you should reach out to us, obviously.
Of course,
But I honestly, I think like SEOs are in an amazing position to really leverage this because this is data that we understand really intimately because we've been in it for a really long time. So we know and understand the value of this data. And we know and understand the limits. So I think SEOs know not to use keyword trend data that's historical to predict future trends. Like that's not how that works. You can use it to understand like seasonality, but it depending on the question you want to answer, you want to use the right data. So I think that's part of the disconnect is that people that are classic data analysts don't know our data and don't know the information around it and they don't know its limitations. So they don't know how to use it. We do know how to use it. And so if we can get more comfortable with figuring out how to apply it outside of our SEO box, right? So, you know, we've started talking more in this industry about how this data can apply to your pay-per-click, right? So how do we inform and use the information in both? And we're starting to talk about how do we use that to inform your marketing strategy as a whole. But what about broader? What if I can inform my product roadmap? What if I can say, hey, we should make this content or we shouldn't make this content? That's not SEO content. What if we can determine, hey, there's really a lot of people looking for what we do in this country, and maybe that's an international expansion opportunity. Okay, like that can be a major business initiative, right? It's data that can help you make good business decisions, period. So if we can get out of our own way and get out of our own heads, I think that can be really meaningful. So you need to work on your data analyst skills. You need to understand the data limitations. You can pull that data. Are you comfortable with the APIs? Are you comfortable with the crawls? Again, SEOs have an advantage here, so use it. And then start thinking, you know, I would start with the SEO, and then I would layer in the social and the other tools over time as you get comfortable with that, with different APIs, with understanding how to, because the TikTok API is different than the YouTube API, right? It does different things. It pulls different data. It has a different data structure. So you have to know how to work them separately, but you can learn those kind of one by one and take over it. So once you know kind of all of those pieces, you can pull it together. But start with like, what is your boss asking you? What are their burning questions? Can you answer that with data that you can show them? And not just, I'm not talking a keyword here. Like, please don't put a keyword versus another keyword and expect that to be meaningful data. But you can look at broader things and clusters and topics and things in groups. You know, or on YouTube, are people really interested in this and really engaging with this and not over here? And that means it's 1 million views over here and not over here. That's data.
Love it.
So bring the data. The sky's the limit.
All right. So we're coming down to my last few questions here, guys. If you guys have any questions in the live chat, ask them now. And because I'm going to go ahead and ask my last question coming down here. But, you know, one use case that you actually brought up with too was like when you bring in the search data, like there's some times where even as an in-house SEO, like you can like actually name the products of your company, like when it comes to products, because they'll call something a certain thing and they're like, hey, what is the search volume on this naming of this product? And they're like, oh, there's like maybe not that much, but how if you call it this? Like, oh yeah, that's the winner. People are actually searching that, and we should possibly name a product around that. So that's, I guess, one easy use case of using search data to like other things, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and ask my last question. Let everyone again once have their give them a chance to go ahead and ask them. But if someone wants to become an SEO professional, what would your advice be to them?
When at all possible, just get an entry-level job or get a freelance gig, get a friend that is willing to let you into their Google Search Console account. And where can you play around? Where can you make inferences? Like, you too can read the Moz Beginner's Guide and kind of learn the basics and really get started with data analysis, because that's my bias. Instead of learning to code, I think SEOs should learn more about data, frankly. Both. Why not both? I would clarify. I like both, but I think we all need to get a little bit better at data, and that will make us better at our jobs. So starting there and just practice, I think is how you get into the game today.
Love it. Love it. I didn't see any new questions come into live chat. So for this episode to feel complete for you, how can people get a hold of you? Any new projects you want to share with us?
How can you get a hold of me? So you can look up Tori Gray. You can also look up gray.company. We will show up. Go figure. We're SEOs. We will show up in the search. We're on all the socials at gray.co. If you spell out the word dot, we'll find us there. We're working on all kinds of fun projects. We do migrations and we do SEO investigations. So we love data. We dig into, why did your traffic drop? If you're having an issue, if you want a strategy for how to resolve that, we can help you. We do lots of JavaScript. We do all the weird technical strategy things and data things. Anywhere that meets, that's our jam.
Love it. Love it. Everyone, let's give a round of applause. Thank you so much, Tori, for coming on. Can you hold on for one quick second? Hold on for one quick second while I sign off here. All right, guys, that concludes another episode of the SEO Video Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And visit our sponsors, SEOnitro.com and search-intelligence.co.uk. Until next time, I will see you next week. Peace out.
Thank you for watching. Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new, because the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO video show. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre De Vera helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo!